With Ambani's trying to raise a whopping $3 billion and the legendary investor like Vijay Kedia buying Greaves Cotton to LIC tanking for about 3 to 4% intraday. A lot of other interesting news today. Hey guys, welcome to Goodwill's post market report. Hey guys, as you can see, I have the Nifty's chart on a 5 minutes time frame here. Opened with a slight negativity, almost flat opening, but then the entire day was again flat. As you can see, with a bit of negativity around 12, but then closed exactly where it opened. Making yet another flat day for Nifty. But if you look at Bank Nifty, we can clearly see the sectoral change. What do I mean? Opened with a slight gap down, but then again, guys, it closed exactly where it opened. Not a huge momentum if you look at the daily perspective as a whole. But during intraday, at least we saw some momentum in Bank Nifty compared to Nifty. But then if you're looking at Nifty, what I want you to focus on is the 15-minute chart over here, which I also mentioned it in my weekend analysis. As you can see, the most important thing that I myself as a trader will be looking out for is the upper trend line, right? Clearly it has taken resistance of 1, 2, 3, even 4 times, and market is headed towards that zone. Yeah, we have a support on the lower end. Clearly it took support exactly from that zone, but still this particular trend line seems to be a lot more accurate compared to this support zone, right? So clearly that is the level that I myself will be watching out for the coming days. And next off, we have major news coming from Raymond. Again rallied about 12% during intraday today with very high volumes. Volumes have just shot up like anything. And this comes after, last week also I mentioned in my video, Raymond is basically trying to announce, do a vertical demerger. What does it mean? So basically Raymond is a textile company, but they had a real estate business as well. And now, they asked SEBI, hey man, can we just, cut our business? And what they did just a month ago, I think they submitted to SEBI saying, we want to take this existing realty business out of the textile, basically do a demerger and again, list it as a Raymond Realty. So clearly this is a good news for the investor. And the main reason why market is reacting to it today could have something to do with the chart, even though the fundamental news in itself, as we notice over here, these candles were due to the fundamental news, right? So clearly, and it brought in a good amount of volume as well. But today, if you see a huge surge in volume, and this comes after, if you just have a basic idea about chart patterns, this is the inverse head and shoulder pattern, one of the most bullish chart patterns out there. And clearly that has brought some faith in the investors, maybe has brought in fresh buys from the market. So clearly we notice Raymond heading up towards 12% and maybe about to break out of this zone, which we will know in a matter of 1 to 2 days. And as you can see, next up we have the movie related stock called as CineSci, which went up by 20%, hit the upper circuit, closed with an upper circuit. And basically this is because they have apparently it's sort of like what is happening with Raymond, right? Whenever these companies, they try to sell their asset or they try to demerger and focus on the main business, they'll get a lot more, they'll get a little bit of extra passion from the investors, because now they're concentrating on their main promote of the company. Here the movie company, apparently it had owned some sort of a hotel and they're selling it for 270 crores. So now clearly again company will get 270 crores. It will be shown in their balance sheet, which is good for the next quarterly results. And it is also good because they might invest it back into the company. So clearly what we saw in Raymond is happening in this stock as well, and it's up by 20%. If I may just show you guys the chart over here, a huge green candle with closing exactly near the upper circuit of 20%. And next off, I have a news about LIC here, dropping about 4% intraday. Now, mind you guys, LIC is a very big company. If you go according to the market capitalization alone, it's a very big company. And for it to fall 4%, there has to be a major news about it. And the news about LIC is basically its year-on-year basis, total retail APE is down. So what does it mean is, in November 2023, compared to that, their retail participation, how many people are buying their LIC is apparently down by 27%. So clearly this is a bad news for the company. This will affect them. But again, LIC is not just about insurance anymore. They have basically a huge amount of portfolio, a big portfolio of companies and businesses that they do. So, but clearly this is again a bad news, because at the end of the day, they are an insurance company and their business, the main core business, is down by almost 27% year-on-year basis. So the market is reacting quite sharply to that news. As you can see, have the chart over here as well. We saw back-to-back green candles. So these were when IRDA, the insurance, governance of India, basically came out and said, they'll put some cap on all the insurance stocks. Then there was some speculation regarding LIC might buy other insurance companies, which is actually good for business. They were trying to eliminate some sort of a competition. So we had seen a very good anticipation from the market. But now a bad news comes today about their, monthly LIC API data. So clearly market is reacting very negatively to that news. And next up, we have a lot of upcoming IPOs. Some of them were announced just a few days ago, and a main one that I want you guys to focus is probably the Vishal Mart. We see it everywhere, especially where I live, and clearly it is coming out with an IPO. If you want to know more detailed analysis about this IPO, you can check it out on our website. I'll link it down below in the description. So next off, we have Greaves Cotton, which I mentioned in the intro as well. We have the legendary investor Vijay Kedia, who has amassed a huge amount of money from just investing in the companies. There's a lot of fan following for Vijay Kedia, just like how we saw for Rakesh Jhunjhunwala ji, right? So whenever he used to invest in a company, people used to run behind them, the retail people, and they used to buy a huge ton of those stocks. We had noticed in Z Business. I remember in last year when Rakesh Jhunjhunwala ji invested in the company, the stock had gone up almost 50 to 60% with all the retail buying the stock. And we noticed the very similar thing happening in Greaves Cotton. So clearly, whenever some famous notable investor enters into a stock, this sort of entails with the retail participation as well. And you can see yesterday and today as well, again with the gap up also, it has gone up by a huge momentum in Greaves Cotton, up at 15% today. Next up, we have a major news coming from Reliance. So basically, it says that they're seeking $3 billion loan. So this is not really raising $3 billion, but basically they want to refinance their existing loan. So what happens is that these companies take out, currently I think Reliance itself has a loan of 2.8 to 2.3 or maybe something like that, and they want to, and a lot of interest accrued as well. So now they are trying for some other company to refinance that loan. So this is very easy for a company when they're doing really well, like Reliance. It's one of the biggest companies of India. So clearly, if they want to refinance with a different interest rate, clearly, I mean, they will be able to do that with many banks trying to offer them. So clearly, we saw that news happening in Reliance. And next off, we have Waaree Energies, which went up by 5% today because they have secured a new order for 1 gigawatt of solar panels. And apparently this will take place from this financial year to almost 2025 and 2026. So clearly, it will affect the next 2 to 3 balance sheets as well. I mean, 2 to 3 quarterly results as well. So clearly, market is reacting positively to this news. As you can see, you have the chart over here as well. Stock was falling, and then now we see a huge up move in the last couple of days, followed by the news. And next off, we have MCX stocks. I've been speaking about this particular in my every post market report. I mention MCX because you can just see the reason over here: gap up and continuation, gap up and upward continuation. And today as well, it has gone up by 8.5% even after a gap up.
If you're a trader following market calls and tips for day trading, use our tool RNT, Research and Trade. All you have to do is link RNT to your trading account, then just sit and relax. Turn trading into business at app.gwcindia.live. Check out description for more details.
Disclaimer: investments in the securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.